And now, the Freedom High School Fife and Drum Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with distinct honor to present to you the valedictorian for the class of 2018, Linda Mao. And now, presenting the Freedom High School graduating class of 2018.
At this time, I ask that you remain standing. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for the playing and singing of the national anthem and alma mater.
Proudly we hailed
Good evening. The graduation ceremony we are presenting this evening is perhaps the singular most important event for the graduates, their parents, guardians, and relatives. I would hope that everyone in the audience will give the graduates the courtesy of not talking and engaging in loud vocal outbursts during the speeches and presentation of the class. Each parent, guardian, relative, and friend wants to hear their graduate's name as they walk across the stage, and in a facility as large as Stabler, it is difficult to hear the speakers unless everyone extends the utmost courtesy to the individual presenters. Thus, we ask you to respect the class of 2018 and refrain from conduct that interferes with the efficient presentation of the class. For those who cannot maintain their enthusiasm within acceptable limits, the police stationed throughout the arena have been instructed to give a warning, and if it is not heeded, to remove those individuals from the arena so that everyone can enjoy this most important occasion. Additionally, we are streaming our graduation ceremony live. Therefore, I welcome our guests overseas and elsewhere to our graduation. At this time, I'm asking you to please silence your cell phones. Thank you.
Everything has its season, everything has its time. Mr. Fascinetto, Dr. Roy, members of the Board of School Directors, Mr. Laporta, platform guests, faculty members, parents and friends, fellow members of the class of 2018. I once heard that in order to succeed, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and be happy with what you see. No, not physically, but internally, because the feeling of contentment is like a sweet harmony that your body and brain enjoy because you are pleased with how you became. No more stress, you're at ease. But I must ask, what is this feeling of contentment we are reaching to fulfill? And it's in moments like these where time can stand still. And I realize this is a moment that we all live for, because graduation is a guarantee that we are moving on for more. We are all prepared today to move towards tomorrow, and we are all prepared today to be our own hero. The hero that you see when you look into the mirror, the hero that you see that may have some errors, yes, some faults, maybe some mistakes, but those mistakes make you who you are, and that is what makes you great. A hero is someone who is not afraid to be gracious. A hero is someone who is not afraid to be courageous. A hero is someone who will come and save us, and that hero is in all of you, heroes that will reach greatness. When you look into the mirror, you should see what I see. I see a bunch of young adults ready to take over the country. I see a bunch of young adults ready to make an impact occur. They say life is a highway, so show us the chauffeur. No one should leave today feeling hopeless because you made it to graduation. This is a success. This is a moment that no one can take away from you. And years from now, you'll appreciate what high school did for you. Tonight, we are going to celebrate. Let me repeat that. I said tonight, we are going to celebrate. Because for the past 4 years, we've put in work like never before. So cheers to all of us, and parents, let the champagne pour, because we are moving on for better, and there's no doubt about that. Nothing is going to hold us back, and that is a straight up fact. Athlete Daniel Bryan once said, "Fight for your dreams, and your dreams will fight for you." Well, we fought many battles already, and we will continue to, because we are a class that does not give up when push comes to shove. No matter what tragedies occur, we will rise above. Our loved ones have come out today, our loved ones from the start, and I would like to thank my mom real quick, whom I love with all my heart. She has encouraged me to become the hero that I am today. And yet we're all heroes in this room. Heroes ready to fly away and go on for bigger things to help shape our future. So thank you again to all the guardians in here for being our own tutors. Thank you for the love that you gave so we can stand up on this stage, receive our diplomas, and get ready for the next phase. What's the next phase? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But when we look into the mirror, we should be proud of what we see, because we are the heroes of our lives. We are not afraid to dream. We are the future of this world. We're going to be set free. We are the game changers. So let's fulfill our destiny and welcome the road ahead of us, because we are the class and heroes of 2018. Thank you.
Mr. Fascinetto, Dr. Roy, members of the Board of School Directors, Mr. Laporta, platform guests, faculty members, parents and friends, fellow members of the class of 2018. Before I begin, I want everyone in the audience to do one quick thing. I want you to reach into your pocket, your purse, or wherever and pull out your phone. No, really, I want you to do it. I'll give you a minute. All right, now I want you to use the glass screen like a mirror and take a look at the person staring back at you. Take a moment to soak in what you see. In mine, I see a confident graduate ready to take on the world, a future engineer, and just a little bit of this shy 5-year-old, still scared to start his first day of Miller Heights Elementary School 13 years ago, who is now speaking in front of thousands of people.
It's extreme, Spence, extreme.
Okay, you can put your phones away now. But that's not all I see. I see that this reflection was built not just by me, but by many others as well. We are all born into this world the same. No one is born knowing everything. There is no switch we flip when we open our eyes for the first time that turns on knowledge. Knowledge is not given, it is earned. Earned by hard work and guided by the people with whom we surround ourselves. These guiding forces are superheroes in their own right, and they are our teachers. Teachers are like my favorite superhero, Spider-Man, but weaving an intricate web of knowledge rather than stopping criminals. Nowhere else is this responsibility taken more seriously than at Freedom High School. On a daily basis, I walk the halls of Freedom High, and I feel a genuine sense of acceptance and caring. Like superheroes, teachers are selfless. They give countless hours of their own time and dedication to their students. They are passionate and powerful. They don't ask for recognition, wealth, or fame. They give of themselves because they know that education is power, and with great power, there must also come great responsibility. My hero is Miss Wesco, who devoted every waking hour, it seems, to bring award-winning theater performances, but more importantly, to bring a family of kids together dedicated to each other and their craft. My hero is Mr. Tossi, who found a way to bring history to life each and every day in his history classroom. My hero is Mrs. Erdman, who develops unsure students into confident writers and public speakers. Trust me, I was one of them. My hero is Mrs. Burkowski, whose creative and curious spirit inspired me to add environmental sustainability to my college major in college. My heroes are Mr. Young and Mr. Kolb, who made calculus and statistics less like a foreign language. Hey, and speaking of a foreign language, mi ero es Señora Bayless, who made Spanish fun and treated me like her very own child. My hero is Mr. Ziegler, who saw in me the ability to excel in English and who encouraged me to attempt this very speech here tonight. And finally, my hero is my father, a former physics teacher who became a principal to some of the students in this very room. He and my mom always taught me to strive for the best and never to be satisfied with anything less. These are the lessons of a great teacher. These people, and many more than I could ever name in a single evening, touched my life. I am a reflection of them, just as all of us are. Tonight, look to your left, look to your right. Look at the faculty of this amazing school. Smile at them. Nod your acceptance. Mouth a silent thank you to those teachers who touched your life, who shaped the reflections in your mirrors. Let's give them a round of applause. And now, the charge is ours. We are the reflections of Freedom High School. We bring to the world the wisdom of our teachers, the guidance of the administrators, staff, and coaches, the dedication of our school board, and the support of the entire community of Bethlehem. We go out into the world well prepared to take on the challenges of college, the military, or the workforce. Freedom has taught us to be different, be ourselves, be our own reflection. And in the wise words of Mr. Phineas T. Barnum, no one ever made a difference by being like everyone else. For this, the class of 2018 is deeply indebted to the amazing staff of Freedom High School. Thank you all for a job well done. God bless you all and the class of 2018.
Mr. Fascinetto, Dr. Roy, members of the Board of School Directors, platform guests, faculty members, parents and friends, members of the class of 2018. I believe that every member of this audience can remember at least one teacher who has had a profound effect upon their educational development. Seated before you in a place of honor with the graduates are 108 Freedom High School teachers in their academic robes. They have inspired our students in many ways. In addition, we have invited former teachers and administrators of the graduating class from both the elementary and middle schools to join us this evening to celebrate the successes of our graduates. They are representative of the fine educators who have helped prepare the class of 2018 for the challenges ahead. It is our hope they have guided the thirst for knowledge in our students, which will fortify them for their journey through life. I would like to take this opportunity to have our teachers rise and be recognized for their outstanding contributions to the young men and women of our school. Thank you. 11 members of the Freedom High School staff have retired or are retiring, and there are a few taking a new path at the end of this school year. Best wishes to Thomas Albright, Barbara Glasser, Michelle Goosley, Terry Jacobs, Dawn Kolesnik, Jim Kolesnik, Carol Lee, Jeffrey Longacre, Joan Pasternak, Denise Peterson, and Craig Weber. I would also like to recognize platform guests and guests seated in our faculty section not taking an active part in our program this evening. Members of the Board of School Directors present this evening are Mr. Eugene McKeown, Mr. Rogelio Ortiz, Mrs. Shannon Patrick, Mrs. Angela Sinkler, and Dr. Dean Donaher. These individuals give unselfishly of their time and efforts in fostering an excellent educational system in the Bethlehem Area School District and should be recognized for it. Also present this evening are Dr. Jack Silva, Assistant Superintendent for Education, Mrs. Claire Hogan, Director of Special Education, Mr. Nathan Stannard, Athletic Director, Mrs. Vivian Robledo-Shorey, Director of Student Services and Minority Affairs, Mrs. Kimberly Harper, Supervisor of Literacy and Humanities, Mrs. Lee Keeney Rusnak, Supervisor of High School Special Education, Mr. Russell Giordano, Chief Human Resources Officer, and Mr. Michael Galler, Supervisor of Career and Technical Education for the Bethlehem Area Vocational Technical School. I have a few parting comments for our graduating class before we confirm our diplomas. When I met with our faculty advisors, our class president, Rachel, our two student speakers, Matthew and Spencer, we discussed the process of how to identify a graduation theme. Very different from their preceding graduating classes, this group of speakers was quickly to identify their theme, reflection in the mirror. Therefore, I find it fitting to tailor my remarks to the class of 2018 around my personal reflections and the importance of reflection. Think back to the start of our school year where I unveiled our school-wide theme, Team of Teams. I talked about our 50th anniversary, our school motto, and I talked about what success might look like for many of you. As Team of Teams was reviewed, one of the key elements of this theme was your integrity. Integrity consists of being punctual, having a consistent pattern of hard work, being professional or responsible, and the need for reflection. As educators, we are required to reflect upon everything we do. As future students and employees, you will need to reflect upon everything you do in life. Your level of success will depend upon your level of reflection. Reflection becomes a habit of mind that will take you to your future successes. Your reflections will challenge you to make adjustments to your actions and strategies that may take you beyond your comfort zone. Going beyond this comfort zone allows you to do things differently, make mistakes, learning from them, and to ultimately reflect again. It is these reflections that builds upon your leadership abilities that will enable you to become successful. As I reflect upon what it takes to become successful, I see in the mirror three components that guide you up the mountain of success. These components are applying a lifestyle of discipline, staying motivated, and working through the sense of feeling overwhelmed when everything else faces you. So what is that lifestyle of discipline? According to former United States Navy SEAL Jocko Willink, a healthy lifestyle begins with personal fitness. Moving from personal fitness, you need to challenge yourselves with the tasks you really don't want to do. That is, taking the hard road, the uphill road. Remember, going into the uncomfortable zone. You need to have the discipline to say no to that easy path. Many times, that easy road, the path of least resistance, is the wrong option. A lifestyle of discipline calls for you to have fortitude and will and to not accept weakness. So many times in your lives, discipline will seem like your worst enemy, but it will keep you on your road to success. The second piece to my reflection is staying motivated. Motivation can be one of the most fickle elements of emotion you will have to navigate throughout your lives. Don't count on being motivated every day, but what you need to do is to muscle through those days where motivation is lacking. You need to go back to reflection number one and implement that element of discipline by powering up the hill of resistance. That level of resistance is sometimes that tipping point in terms of what enabled your level of success. Lastly, you need to understand there will be so many instances in life where you will feel completely overwhelmed. That is just the way life works. When you are confronted with these moments, it is crucial to fight back this feeling. You need to face these problems and turn them into opportunities. Eventually, these opportunities become your successes. Let these demands raise you up, let them elevate you, and let this adversity turn you into a stronger and better person tomorrow. In closing, as you reflect upon your days of freedom and the days that will take you into your life's path, you need to implement the strategies of discipline, attempt to stay motivated on a daily basis, and power through those overwhelming moments. Those overwhelming moments will eventually turn into the excellence in all things that you will do and become. Class of 2018, I wish each and every one of you the very best. May you have a happy, healthy, and successful future. Dr. Roy, it gives me great pleasure to certify to you that the members of the Freedom High School class of 2018 have satisfied all the academic requirements necessary to graduate from a high school in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Good evening. I'm proud and honored to be able to share this evening with our graduates and their families. And I want to congratulate Spencer on your speech and your thanks to the teachers. I think was really nice. And your dad and mom. And also Matthew, I've seen a lot of graduation speeches over the years. I don't think I've ever seen anyone give a speech with such joy. It was joyful. I loved it. So congratulations. I want to thank our faculty and staff and administration at Freedom High School for all you've done to prepare our students for this evening, and also a special thanks to our elementary and middle school teachers who have helped our students along the way. I want to thank and congratulate our parents. About 4 hours ago, I was at a kindergarten end-of-year celebration for my youngest daughter, who is in kindergarten. And I thought, wow, in a few hours, I'll go from one end, kindergarten, to graduation at the other end. And parents, I'm sure many of you can clearly remember the first day of kindergarten, just like it was a few years ago. And then others of you are thinking, oh Lord, that seems like 50 years ago. But we're all here tonight. And I want to congratulate the parents for that. Our seniors tonight received their diplomas. The kindergartners this afternoon seemed really happy with ice cream sundaes. And to our seniors tonight, as you move on from your school community to high school graduates and citizens in the larger Bethlehem community, as citizens and community members, we have individual rights and collective responsibilities to each other. And I think too often today it seems we focus on individual rights, but not enough on what we owe to each other as members of a community. Our shared responsibilities are demonstrated by our support of our local police and fire protection, for our public roads and bridges, for public parks, and of course public schools, all of which contribute to a safe, healthy, and educated community, which is good for all of us. I'm completely confident you'll become leading citizens and community members because you've already demonstrated your understanding that we're all better off when we look out for each other. Service projects across many clubs and sports teams, as well as the amazingly successful BASD Minithon, demonstrate your compassion and your actions as good citizens. The idea of Freedom Family reflects your understanding of good citizenship. We need you to take what you have learned and making a difference together and become leading citizens to make a difference in our community, in our state, and in our nation. But tonight's ceremony, as an important rite of passage, is all about the official conferring of diplomas. So part of my job tonight is to officially certify that seniors are eligible to receive their diplomas. So I'll invite Mr. Fascinetto up to the podium. Mr. Fascinetto, President of the Board of School Directors of the Bethlehem Area School District, under the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in my role as Superintendent of Schools, I hereby certify that these seniors have fulfilled all graduation requirements established by the Bethlehem Area School District and, therefore, are eligible to receive their high school diplomas. Mr. Fascinetto, the Freedom High School class of 2018.
Go Peak. All right, good evening, everyone. On behalf of the entire Board of School Directors, I would like to welcome everyone, and I especially want to congratulate you, the class of 2018. I also want to congratulate the parents, the grandparents, the friends, the family members in attendance tonight. These graduates could not have made it this far without your love and support. Thank you for all you have done and all you will continue to do for these fine young women and men. Graduates, please join me once again in recognizing your amazing teachers. Hands down, they are the best professional staff in the Lehigh Valley. You would absolutely not be here without their dedication and tireless support to your success. Reflection in the mirror. You know, when I first heard the theme, I thought it was a bit strange for a graduation. I mean, we're looking forward and not looking at ourselves and looking back. And really, How many teenagers, or adults for that matter, really like to look in the mirror? Many of us are immediately drawn to our imperfections. You know, society tells us we have to look a certain way, we have to wear this goofy colored thing straight so people don't laugh at us. If we don't have the right clothes, we're not good enough. We label women that don't fit a certain mold plus size, but they don't fit the media's guidelines. The guy who fixed my dad's computer last year was from the Geek Squad. Girls who have too many guy friends get a not so nice label, but boys who have too many girlfriends get celebrated. Pop culture. Pop culture and society in general can be absolutely cruel to a teenager. And last year, the series 13 Reasons Why took many high schools by storm and caused a lot of people to look in the mirror and really stare deep at that person reflecting back. After all, if you're searching for that one person that's going to change your life, just look in the mirror. Where am I going with all this? Freedom is not your typical high school, if you haven't noticed. The climate and culture of this school is so much different than other schools. Your class and many before you have built this Freedom family to make the halls of freedom a welcoming environment for all who enter. When you, the members of the class of 2018, look at your reflections in the mirror, you see leaders, you see friends, athletes, musicians, thespians, advocates, and the list goes on and on and on. You are a class that welcomes and celebrates individuality, diversity, and accepts each member for exactly who they are. But that goes beyond the class of 18. You know, a few years ago, some students, some teachers, Mr. Laporta, they ventured out in the summer and they started knocking on doors. And they were going to visit the home of every single incoming freshman. I mean, are you kidding me? 400, 500, 600 kids, I don't know how many it was, but hundreds of houses were visited when you could have been home enjoying those last bits of summer. Those nervous kids got a special welcome. These kids didn't have to wake up on the first day of school and stare in the mirror and think, will I fit in there? Will I have a place? Am I welcome? They knew there was a place for them because you came and told them, you welcomed them. This year you've taken it a step farther. Rachel came up with the idea of this Freedom Forum Freshman Edition, where not only would you knock on the door, but they would get their own copy of the Freedom Forum, and it would welcome them to school. It may not seem like a big deal. I mean, the whole door knocking may not seem like a big deal, but it goes to show just how caring you are as a class and how caring this school is. So many people have told me in the past few weeks that they have never seen a group of students who are so caring, so compassionate. They see you as advocates and civic leaders and future leaders of this community. You put politics aside and you truly work to make freedom and the entire Bethlehem community a better place for everyone. I mean, we saw this in your Advocacy Week for Safe Schools. You led a very peaceful student walkout on March 14th. I can't talk about reflections in the mirror without looking back to my past and a little bit of MJ. See, when I was a kid, there was no one bigger than Michael Jackson. We had this thing, and it was called MTV, and they played music videos all day long. Long before the days of reality shows filled with ridiculously beautiful people, there were music videos. And what these were, they gave meanings to the songs. And the song Man in the Mirror was no different. And I know it's reflection in the mirror, because 2018, it's man, women, women, man, however you want to say it. But they gave meaning to the song, and Man in the Mirror was one of my favorites. It started out with images of poverty and homelessness, political unrest, the Ku Klux Klan, Hitler and the Nazis, scenes of war and assassinations. But about 2/3 of the way through, because this is a graduation speech and this is positive, 2/3 of the way through the video, it transitions to symbols of peace and symbols of change. And it highlights not just political figures, but average citizens helping others to make a difference. The video ends with that famous image we've all seen of the Earth rising over the horizon of the moon. Mr. Moran, cue up the orchestra. Who's going to sing this with me? Who knows the song? I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been, please, you're helping me. I mean, if the orchestra would have got its act together, it would have been better. The important part is take a look at yourself and then make a change. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na. These are timeless words, and 2018 is not that much different than 1987. Positive change still begins with one person making it one conscious decision to do something different to benefit others. I know as a class that each and every one of you can make that positive change, and I know that you will make that positive change. See, you're different than others that went before you. I always ask around a few weeks before graduation for some relevant stuff, like what are some funny things I can say. I try to be relevant and humorous. And when I asked Mrs. Trifulio, she said, this senior class is different. And when I asked them what they could give me, they said they want you to come to their class luau. And I thought, okay, how am I going to get out of this? What kind of kids want a board member to come to the luau? And I said that if you get me a yellow lei, I would come to the luau. I was hoping they wouldn't have a yellow lei. Sure enough, they did. So needless to say, I showed up, and it was a worthwhile visit because there was a class out on a Tuesday afternoon, I think it was, having a good time. And if I was remaking the Michael Jackson video, putting all the positive of this class into the end, the video would look something like this. You would see an over-the-top riot squad at every sporting event. Rain, snow, sunny weather, it doesn't matter. You would see a theater department that earned 8 Freddie nominations. You would see community advocates helping others less fortunate themselves, raising money for victims of hurricanes in Houston, Puerto Rico, and throughout the Caribbean. You would see images of the freshman edition of the Forum. You would see a steady stream of seniors making the daily Wawa runs that made survival possible. You would see the District 11 championship basketball team, the girls doubles champions, the runner-up football team, and of course, the baseball team as of last week. You would see tables full of seniors enjoying half-price apps at Applebee's, and iPhone calendars that were marked every night as wing night, driving so far as Diner 248 in Nazareth. It's not worth the gas you spent to save the 20 cents on wings. You would see Sean Boyer, who as a freshman guided some community leaders and business leaders on a tour of the Project Lead the Way classroom. And after all, he is apparently Sean the other white meat. You would also see boys not talking to their girlfriends because they're too busy playing Fortnite all day. What's up with that? And of course, you would see one of the strongest freedom fams of all time. Beyond all these images, they said, if you really, this is ridiculous at this point. They said, if you really want a big reaction, say something bad about liberty. And I said, I can't say anything bad about liberty because tomorrow night I have to stand here in the same spot for this exact same ceremony with liberty. So clearly, I will say nothing bad about liberty. Go Pates. They told them to cut the microphone off after 3 minutes in the back, so thank you, guy back there, for letting me go on. I got to share one more thing that I learned at the luau, and that is that Mr. Laporta loves chocolate ice cream. I mean, loves chocolate ice cream. I arrived to find a man at peace with the world, enjoying a dish of chocolate ice cream. There was not a care or inkling of concern on his face just 2 weeks before graduation. Stood there in the sunshine, eating chocolate ice cream. I had never seen him like this before, as I am sure most people in this room have not either. I thought he was totally zoned out until I saw this giant beach ball about the size of me getting hit around in the field. And I said to Mr. Stellato, how cool would that be to have at graduation? This is the moment I realized Mr. Laporta was not completely zoned out because he said it would not be cool at all before I even finished my thought. I said, maybe we could have it backstage or we could whack it out in the crowd. It'd be really, no, it wouldn't, he said. I said, how cool would it be if it came out like the second level behind those flags and just over the orchestra? He said, that would not be cool at all. I said, what if I just show up with one? He said, I'll have you removed by security. Told me in his 11 years as principal.
Cut the mic.
I'm almost done. He told me in his 11 years as principal, there has never been a beach ball inside Stabler Arena. In fact, you all were patted down tonight, is that correct? To check your pockets, to make sure there was nothing in there. Mr. Laporta, the 11-year drought is over. This is an exact replica, 1/100th the size of what I saw. So on behalf of the Board of School Directors, your beach ball, I do not have the guts to hit it out there, trust me.
Smart man.
I was dared to, and I said, no way. On a serious note, you are an extremely lucky class, because when you look up principal in the dictionary, you see a picture of this guy. He is a strong leader who has the highest of expectations for each and every one of you and demands nothing but excellence in all things. but he's also caring and compassionate for his students and faculty. He is everything that I believe a principal should be. So please, let's give a round of applause for Mr. Laporta. All right, let's wrap this thing up. How about we? I'm pressing my luck with the microphone. Each year I look for some kind of inspirational quote and I try and grab them. I got this little book. It's called The Essential Wisdom of the World's Greatest Thinkers. It's got quotes by me, Dr. Roy, and some other people in it. And I like to use that every year. But I didn't need it this year because I found some inspiration a lot closer to home. And we all know that Once Upon a Mattress was Miss Wesco's last performance this year and that she has left her mark on thousands of students and probably tens of thousands of community members over the years with her plays and her musicals at the theater. And I read an article in the paper where they asked her to reflect on what it would be like going forward, and she said, and I quote, "As you can imagine, passing the torch to the next generation of theater company leaders comes with many emotions. I have every confidence they will continue to light the way for future generations to support, love, and appreciate the arts. The arts matter. I have personally witnessed the arts change innumerable lives. May the future thespians continue to work hard, dream big, and always believe in the magic and wonder of their life. Be the change, bring the joy, spread sunshine, and let your beautiful light shine wherever you go." And of course, we know without light, there would be no reflections. Congratulations to the class of 2018. Now, for what you've really been waiting for. It is my distinct honor and privilege to say that by the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Department of Education, and having been duly certified by Mr. Laporta and Dr. Roy to have met all the graduation requirements, I hereby declare you the Freedom High School class of 2018 to be graduated. Not that one. Just one of these. All right. And now, if I could call your senior class president, Rachel Balin Black, to the stage. Rachel is a member of the National Honor Society, straight A's 2 years, President's Education Award, Administrative Appreciation Award, Miller Keystone High School Hero Award, National Society of High School Teachers Grand Concourse Honorable Award. Rachel, it is my pleasure to present you with the first diploma of the class of 2018.
Hi, I'm one of the door knockers. I've also not stopped smiling since I walked into here today. Mr. Fascinetto, Dr. Roy, members of the Board of School Directors, Mr. Laporta, platform guests, faculty members, parents and friends, fellow members of the class of 2018. A couple weeks ago, Matt Spencer and I, as you heard, sat down together and tried to think of a theme for this graduating class, a common thread that has tied together each and every person in this stadium for the past 4 years. But it is really hard to think of the single phrase that has characterized us all since the first time we walked through the doors of Freedom High School in 2014 until the first time we walked into Stabler Arena today in 2018. I mean, we have changed a lot. My hair color alone has changed like 4 to 5 times throughout my high school career, let alone my group of friends, my future plans, my taste in music, and even just random things like my favorite go-to hot sauce brand. Yes, my hair was purple junior year, and yes, Texas Pete over Frank's Red Hot any day. Shout out to my hot sauce lovers. Retweet. Well, anyway, as you can see from the program that you're holding in your hand, and as you heard from the 2 speakers before me, we decided on Reflections in the Mirror to be our graduation theme. Because although I am not the same person I was 4 years ago, in the class of 2018, although you are not the same person you were 4 years ago, the people who we are today are reflections of our past selves. Who we are right now in this moment are products of 18 years of life, 4 of those years being spent at Freedom. Freedom High School, where every day is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and every day where Mr. Stellato says, "Can I get an oh yeah?" Oh yeah! That's what I like to hear. And wherever we go in life, we will carry the people who we once were with us. We are the storage units of all the memories we have accumulated throughout our lives. We are the legs that will carry ourselves out the door at the end of the ceremony. But not only that, we are also just us, plain and simple. I don't think that 10 years ago, our baseball players, 8 years old and like yay high, knew that they were going to someday win the District 11 championship over Parkland. I don't think our girls' basketball team, shout out Haley Sophies, thought that they would be district champions either. I don't think Shannon Callahan knew she was going to win a Freddie Award at 8 years old. Or that Jess Merkovich knew she was going to go to design school in New York City. Or that Matt Vera knew he was going to be delivering amazing slam poetry at his high school graduation. Shout out, Matt. And not to be sentimental or anything, but I don't think that Juliana Maffei and Destiny Panic knew that they were going to meet each other in high school and become best friends. And I don't think that you thought that you were going to meet your best friend in high school, but you did. Or that Bella Pompa and everyone involved in Thon knew that over the course of 4 years, we, as high school students, would raise over $400,000 for children with pediatric cancer. I don't think that Abdul Beasley knew that he was going to win an amazing football scholarship. Or that Katie, Sean, and Kevin McNulty knew that they were going to be going to Lehigh University together. Yes, mad cute. And I don't even think that our prom queen, Addie Streeter, knew she was going to be living in Pennsylvania. As students and as teenagers in the 21st century, we have all had to face a lot of uncertainty in order to get where we are today. I'm sure you all can agree, and that all the parents and the teachers in this audience tonight can agree that for most of us, getting to this point, getting to graduation was no walk in the park. The cords and sashes draped over me today, right now, and the sheer fact that I'm up here speaking as the class president may make it seem like high school was easy or that these things were just given to me. But I, like everybody else, have had so many moments during high school where I doubted myself and thought that high school was some never-ending vortex of stress. But here we are, we made it. And graduation day is one of those few days in your lives where you get to be openly and publicly proud of yourselves. So when you walk across this stage tonight, doing your little walk, smile, take it in, thank your parents, your teachers, and most importantly, yourselves for getting you here today. Like I said before, I'm not sure as kids we knew how successful that we would be. If we didn't know these things 10 years ago, then imagine what we will accomplish 10 years after today. Looking out at my classmates right now, I see future film directors like Dominic Chbosky and Maya Johnston, and United States Marines like Kaylee Weaver, and advocates like Leilani Aiko, along with police officers, doctors, mothers, therapists, authors, and the list goes on and on. Freedom High School class of 2018, the future is ours. Let's keep moving forward in the world, showing our 8-year-old reflections what we can do, seizing opportunities and reaching for our goals. We all know we're capable of it, so thank you for letting me be your president, for being friendly faces in the hallways, for supporting me, and for following your dreams. You've made high school something I will remember forever. Now let's all get some diplomas.